Why should I fear death? If I am, death is not. If death is, I am not. Why should I fear that which can only exist when I do not? Not so much a poem as it is a great quote by Epicurus. So we return to, quite frankly, that question right now. Where we left off, Yakim in a surprise fight against a bunch of coalition state Skelelots. Him and Green Brother Sood fighting in a corridor. Yakim badly injured, a fight they should not have taken. And he himself now, after a very lucky burst of fire from one of these skeletal-looking, metallic, humanoid-shaped robots that the coalition states love to use, he's left on the ground, dying. Yakim himself, not fully aware of what's going on, he coughs some blood. His hands seem to be growing weak. He blinks. Something's not quite right with him. He begins to cast what little gaze he has around, and he just stops. And he looks up, and he sees someone. It's a silhouette. It's a deep one. Thin and frail, muscular and vital. It is those people that he looks forward to the most. He sees his dad. He comes forward with a calloused hand from working long hours to support his family. He sees his fellow juicers fighting alongside him, dying alongside him, pushing so that way they could maintain a sense of freedom, that they had the right, nay the responsibility, to push back against coming darkness. He sees Tawny. The great flaming sword and the wild hair, she would leap from battle to battle, excited just to be there with him, thinking that he was going to lead her to some great secret. He led her to an early grave that he dug himself. He sees Julian stepping forward. Bulk, frame, presence and power, a charisma that is hard to explain to someone who has not followed somebody that they believe in. And then he sees his sister. She kind of glances down. She's crouched over him. She's not crying. She is panicked. There's a worried look in her eyes. And she starts trying to shake him gently. Yakim? Yakim, are you okay? And he goes, oh, I'm having the weirdest fucking dream. That guy over there. You see him? I'm pointing right at him. Not a muscle on Yakim's body moves. He told me I took the Prometheus treatment. Well, I shot him. Or actually, my friend shot him. I just tried to stab him a couple times. I don't remember if I took it. Did I? Am I gonna come back as a zombie? And suddenly another voice comes through. What are you talking about? I am trying to bandage your wounds. Please, sit still. And now, as part of the requirement, and I'll admit that I'm a little nervous and a little scared here, Yakim is currently dying. He's incapacitated with 4 wounds, and he needs to make a incapacitation vigor check. He has to count all of his wounds, so this is a roll in -3. If he gets snake eyes, this is the end of our story. If he fails, as in he gets below 4, then he's going to have a permanent injury, which may heal given his abilities. But he's still going to be bleeding out. And he gets 1 minute until he has to roll again. Now the thing is, too, of course, Sood is not trained in healing. And that's the only way, with the 10 minutes of preparation, that somebody tries to bind the wounds, which means he would have to make 10 rolls to ensure he doesn't bleed out. You was shot with a laser weapon, which means that the bleed out comes with a +2, but this initial incapacitation, it does not. Now, Savage Rifts has a death and glory table. So if he rolls Snake Eyes or he rolls -1, there is another table he can roll on. But we'll have to see how well that works. And he can use his bennies, unless they're Snake Eyes. So, we're now going to roll to see if this story continues. He has a Vigor die of a D8. He gets his Wild die, of course, and this is at -3. Oh my god, and it is Snake Eyes. I'm going to take a picture of this because that is literally the worst way it could have rolled. Okay, I'm going to ask a fate question. And I'm going to say this is unsure. Does Yakeem die here? Here we go. That is a 42. And that is a yes. I will use the death and defeat. But if he survives this, so the way the death and the defeat table works, it's a d20. A 1, 2, 3, or 4, and this is it. The story ends. I will declare a blaze of glory, though. We will have this session, and just this session. And Yakeem will have to choose when he goes. Anything above that, and there is options. He will be permanently injured, mangled. It may be the end of his adventuring unless there's some way to fix it. He can't take cybernetics because that will destroy him even further, reducing his burn die for each piece that he needs. But regardless, this could be it. And I'm hesitant. I'm picking up a die that I've been using since 1994. It's a black 20-sided die. A lot of the ink is worn out. The 20 is almost illegible now, outside of the fact I just know by feel where it is. And this will determine how much further our hero goes. Okay. That was a 19. According to this table, which I should have had open because my hands are shaking right now. A 19. Huh. Not today. Roll for an injury, which goes away when all wounds are healed. Though he still has his wounds, the hero remains in a fight. He stabilizes and becomes shaken. However, given the fate check, given the Snake Eyes, this is it. Yakeem, in this session, in this episode, is going to go out in a blaze of glory. He will die. There is no coming back. The resurrection magic will help. There is no cybernetics that will save him. Yakeem is going to die. Let's roll on the injury table. I'm going to use the one built in. And for the duration, Yakeem's strength is reduced by 1 die type as he has busted guts. So his strength is going to go from a D8 to a D6. He's no longer incapacitated. He has 4 wounds. Green Brother Suit comes up to him and he goes, "My friend, is everything okay?" And Yakeem blinks. His sister form revolves into Sood, but he still can hear her. He can see her. He's like, "Hey, Something's not right. Fuck. He reaches down. He feels just underneath his arm where there's a couple of the heavy ropes, not even ropes, the tubes that maintain the juicer augmentation. One of them is severed. There is kind of a white, vile-looking fluid just beginning to pour out of it. He goes, fuck, man. Here, give me your knife. Give me your knife quickly. And he turns on the vibro knife, and he uses it, cauterizing it, sealing, just that way the juice stops running out. And he looks and he goes, fuck, man. I don't know how much more I can do. I gotta get down. I gotta find Julian, man. I gotta figure out what the fuck's going on. I gotta get him out of here. You don't understand. Don't fucking shake your head at me. If Julian goes, then the Juicer Army of Liberation goes. What the fuck are we supposed to do? We need him. Julian's the one who brought us through all this. You don't understand the hell that we went through. We gotta get him. Oh, fucking help me up, man. And Sood kneels him back down and goes, I need you to stop fighting for just a moment. No, you don't understand. Oh, fuck. And I'm going to give Green Brother Sood, let's see, a D4 -2 and a D6 for a wild die, because I decided that Sood is going to be upgraded because I thought this might be a likelihood to a wild card. So this is a -2 to see if he can heal at least one wound to Julian to help him, or Yakim, so we can help him out. Okay, the 4 blows up. Okay, that's a 3, so he heals 1 wound. He starts binding Yakim as quickly as he can, but this is about the best he can do. Yakim, though, looks down at it and goes, alright, fuck, man, back up. I'm gonna try it. And Yakim does have a D4, but he's gonna take a -2 because he now has 2 wounds. No, they both blow up. Come on, D4, come back. Oh, shit. Yakim just rolled a 22 to heal his own wounds. They take the better portion of half an hour. Yakim just kind of looks at it and he goes, fuck, man, it's the best we're going to do. He's like, I don't know what the fuck's happening. Something's wrong with the biocomp. I feel absolutely flushed. I feel fucking heated. Oh, the juice hasn't stopped, man. He goes, well, this is a good thing, is it not? He goes, no. This is a bad thing. This is a very bad thing. Look, I can't explain it. I don't have the time or the technical know-how. All I know is that usually after a fight, you start recovering, things start calming down, and then we get a little high, right? The high's not coming. Now, I can see your eyelashes. I can see that your left eye is twitching slightly because you're tired. I can hear your heartbeat. I can see it through your skin, and it looks so slow. And Sood looks at him and goes, I think we need to get you to a doctor. He goes, I think, as he racks a E-clip into his rifle, he goes, I think we need to get into the fucking basement of this place. I have to find Julian. This is it, man. No go. And Sood, okay. I will accompany you on this, but I am worried that this may be a death sentence for us both. And Yakim goes, you know what, man? You'd have made a great fucking juicer. Come on. Fuck me. Alright. So, I don't see how the chaos factor doesn't go up. It is now an 8. So, fuck. Here we go. Scene alteration. I'm picturing that this scene is them continuing down. It proceeds normally. Wow. Well, first time for everything, right? I'm going to start with a survival roll for Yakim to try to navigate. It's a 2 and a 1. Fuck it. I'm burning a Benny. At this point, doesn't matter, right? Snake eyes. Jesus fuck. Sood should have been the one rolling fucking survival. He's got a D10 plus 2. So we say 5 and a 5, it's a success. Yakeem, headstrong, begins running, kicking some of the Skelelots as he moves through. He goes, fuck you. Goddamn coalition can't even send fucking people after me. And Green Brother Suit stops and he goes, I know that you want to go on a vengeance run. I understand that you may be thinking this is your last chance, but can you at least follow directions for once? Yakeem, fuck man, fuck off. You're not my mom. He goes, no, I am not. And I will try to keep you alive, but if it comes between me getting out of here and you dying in a blaze of glory, I'm getting out of here. I have a lot to do. I have a bank account. He goes, oh, that must be nice. I'll tell you what, man. You can have mine, too. Just get me down there. They begin making their way, cutting back and forth, finding the switches. Let's roll what the general layout is. They come to another corridor, and then a steep decline. But along the way, let's see, Sood's notice roll is a D10. He rolls a 9. Yakeem's is, I believe, a D8. His notice, I should know this by now, D6. 4. Okay, so they both notice as they're Sood stops him halfway down. He goes, we need to stop here. He goes, why, what's the matter? He goes, look up ahead. Yeah, I know you have a hard time seeing in the dark, but you have a fancy scope on that gun, yeah? Lift it up, look. And he glances down and goes, oh fuck, man. Yeah, I see it. I see a bunch of red light lasers just kind of crisscrossing the path. They're probably sensors, huh? He goes, yeah, that would be my suspicion too. Okay, well, here goes, man. Can I see that fancy knife of yours again? He goes, I don't want to lend you any of my shit. You've not been very kind to gear. He goes, well, been even worse to myself. 6, 10 total. Yakeem, taking out a knife, begins cutting into what are effectively trip mines laid all across here. And along the way, considering the fact that he rolled with a raise, Yakeem also finds and locates one of these little micro cameras that are hidden all throughout the place. He goes, there. That should make it a little bit quieter. Though, man, I fucking want to kill somebody right now. Do I need to go? Should I just leave right now so you can just go about in the suicide run? Because more and more, you sound like you have issues at home. He goes, yeah, no, I do. Yeah, you're not joking there. But I'm going to get through these today. As they continue the path down, Yakeem starts thinking more and more. And let's see. Does Yakeem this location? Yakeem, as he comes forward, they step into a large room. The double swinging doors kind of just bap at each other as they push through. The muzzles of these rifles peer in first as both men step in, check corners, check ceilings. And Yakeem looks down and he sees something. He walks over to it, nudges it with the toe, and then kind of pushes it aside. He goes, oh shit. No, I think I know whoever this was. And Green Brother Sood comes over and he goes, that is a corpse. A long dead corpse, I assume. Oh, I know. No, I shot her. He goes, so are you asking for a trophy? What the fuck are you talking about? He goes, no. This is where we discovered the Valix themselves. Okay. He goes, look. And he kind of rolls her back over onto her back. And it's not desiccated. At most, the skin and flesh looks mummified, but the skeleton underneath is not a skeleton. He comes forward and with kind of a grasp at her face, pulls back the laser blast that had burned and scorched into the flesh. He goes, yeah, we found this. And he peels back the skin, much like pulling back just the skin off of a crispy chicken breast. And underneath, It's just this silver shining metal, perfectly sculpted to try to make a skeletal face. The laser blast itself had burned out the optics, so it almost looks like a hollow skull, if not for the fact of the shining material underneath. And Sood peers at it and goes, this is not Coalition. No, man, it's not Coalition. The Valix had infiltrated the Coalition states. That's how they got us in here. That's how they even fucking managed to trick the Coalition to come out here and build up this crazy-ass fortress. Now, these tunnels were theirs. And they built these robots, or androids, whatever the fuck you classify them as. They hid them. They hid them in the populace. They hid them in their sales force. They hid them in even the mercenaries. These scientists, these are just puppets. Found this out the hard way. He goes, what do you mean? He goes, let's keep going. I'll fucking play show and tell. They walk into the next room where there's just blast marks. Greasy black skids that cover across corners, floors, walls. There is a shattered, just a glass pane where lights used to be in the ceiling. Shrapnel bits that obviously still glitter with a little bit of metallic shards that have been embedded into the walls, and skeletons. He goes, yeah. They started turning the fucking troopers against us. You have to understand, man, there was no Prometheus treatment. Some of us who had taken the Prometheus treatment, we had, well, I was next in line. It was my time. It was my day when they activated the kill switch. What do you mean the kill switch? The Coalition had required that for us to sign up for the Prometheus treatment, we had to get our biocomps changed. And those of us who managed to get in did, and guys who were on their last leg started getting up, walking around, dancing. People who should have been dead years ago just came back. They were saying that they weren't even feeling headaches anymore. Yeah. They promised us immortality. And instead, they pretty much activated bombs, little planted tracer bombs in our heads. Overload the biocomp first, cause us to start glitching out, pretty much overdose. Some of them started choking on their own vomit, dropped right there. Others, it was too much, and they had to activate micro-detonations in their skulls. Just pop their brains from the inside of the skull, just like that. A couple hundred of us died. And when we recognized what was going on, well, the rest of us were not too happy. Julian's the one who organized us into a fighting force. Because I had heard some of these stories before. I had no idea how bad it was. He goes, no, it's not even the worst of it, man. Worst of it's that. And he points over. And propped up in the corner, there is what's obviously a juicer. The harness exposed. The tubes running along like this, almost like a spider web of black and green, this weird necrosis that had flowed through all the way down to the muscles. It's obvious, it's suffused through the skin, as even the mummification looks corrupt. The eyes themselves, while still open in a form of rictus, the exposed teeth in this snarling grin, the eyes staring straight forward despite a 2-inch hole right through the sternum, obviously shattering the central portion of the pump for a juicer itself. The almost like giblet-like juices that had flowed out, congealed and chunked. As they look down, the eyes themselves are deep, burnished red still. He goes, that's what they were here for, man. The Valix. Coalition didn't even know about it. Fucking patsies. Little dickless swine who just wanted to get ahead. They wanted to destroy Tolkien so bad that they just started signing up with whomever. They didn't know the Valix, though. We barely learned about them. And Sood looks down at the body and goes, oh, what is wrong with them? Is it contagious? He goes, no, they... the best Julian thinks that happened is that they made some changes to the biocomp. They completely overrode it and put in a bunch of nanites, pretty much taking over the medikit that's been keeping my ass patched together and healed, though it's not working right now. He goes, and those nanites started attacking the brains. It was subtle, because as we get older, our memory starts going. But for juicers, you know, old is 3 years after conversion. You get freshly juiced, you feel on top of the world. 4 years on, you start forgetting that initial high. 5 years on, you start forgetting what you had for breakfast. 6 years on, you start forgetting your name. But these nanites, they start taking over, rewrite pathways, convert the brain into kind of a gray matter soup. And the biocomp itself flips over, juices and jacks the body up, even worse, but reanimates it after death. Because, let's be honest, man, what are we but just meat robots? He goes, you are in a very dark place right now. He goes, oh, I'm hoping I get to go to the shiny place after today. Let's fucking keep going, man. So, as they keep moving forward, Yakeem starts getting lost in the revelry. They come down a long corridor. Let's take a look. A T intersection comes up. They peer down one hallway. The green light illuminates, and he goes, yeah, that's where we started seeing some of them. He goes a little bit further in. What we started finding were cocoons. Yeah, that is how the Valix, they recuperate in those. It was, I know we came in here with a couple of flamethrowers, and as they push open what used to be a barracks down here, the lights overhead are still glaringly bright, though one of them is flickering. He sees. Yakeem pushes open one of the cocoons, and there is a clatter. Chitinous frame, bipedal, 2 arms, but almost an ant-like face. It clatters out, still wearing the burnt remnants of a white lab coat. Yakeem kneels down next to it. Yeah, fuck you too. And as Zood looks at him, he goes, I knew it. I knew that they were here. Fuck these things. He goes, oh, there is a spark left in you, boy. Yeah, well, the Valix took over my homeland. I am not from here. Yeah, I figured that out. No. I should have been from somewhere else. We are not refugees. Me and my group, we landed in a place you called England. We started living in one of those giant millennial trees. He goes, what the fuck is a millennial tree? He goes, that would take too long to explain, but they are both our homes and our protectors. They are living, slow-moving, sentient, not even slow-moving, slow-thinking. They guard us, and we guard them. And that is where I take my title. I'm a green brother. Okay, I figured you just really like the color, man. He goes, no. I'm a green brother, sworn and charged to protect our millennial tree, as it was the only home after the Valix drove us out. And then they followed us. Alright, man, I think I know you a little bit better now. It's a shame. I'd like to take you out for a beer. He goes, I don't drink. Yeah, well, neither do I. I don't need it. I continue progressing forward. Let's see here. I'm going to go for a scene alteration. A couple of good rolls there. I'm going to drop the chaos just a little bit, but it's not going to matter too much because we're still at a 7. Things are going to keep going. Scene is altered. Okay. Let's look for the event focus. Okay, it's a remote event. Let's see. Let's roll on the scene adjust table. Alright. Strangely large. That's a remote event. Strangely large. Well, that most certainly does sound like, I'm going to call that will probably be Julian himself. So let's find out. Do they find evidence of Julian? 69. Nice. As they come forward, there is a long corridor again. As they take another path, and they come to the decline going forward that ends in a double set of doors. Another one of these ones that has a passcode hidden behind a door. But Yakeem just looks at it and goes, all right, man. Yeah, they're going to let me fucking borrow that knife, or I'm just going to have to keep, I'm going to have to keep asking for it. He goes, you keep asking me for it. All right, man, let me see it. Good thing I took that repair so long ago. 4 blows up into a 7 total. Yakeem, boss. Yakeem starts carving into the wall again. Finds the panel and just... And suddenly there's a... Fuck, hang on. Twist the knife a little bit more. Alright, hang on. And then he pulls the knife out and then just jams it into the wall panel. And there's a spark. Pulls the knife out. And that spark becomes blue. Little flames begin to lick up on the wall. So the door just... And there's a swarm... not a swarm. A pressure change. The doors themselves almost push towards them. They can feel the humidity change, slightly drier but pressurized air. And as they step into a room, it's not brightly lit like the Valix had left them, but it is bright lit enough that it's obvious some form of almost like medical chamber. Yakeem looks it up and down, and then he sees it. He goes over to another section, and it's almost like he recognizes the clothes. Folded up neatly, though blood splattered in some sections. The vest itself, though, still wearing the same patch that he remembers so clearly. The JAL. And then, lying right next to it, a book. Julian himself never leaves out of his sight. And it is, let's see. Let's give it a fun description. Let's just throw background. 19 combat skill. The book is a paperback novel, pulp novel, poorly written, mass-produced. The cover at this point is sun-worn, dog-eared, and battered. The corners of it are almost gray, water damage along the spine, but it is obviously a well-loved book. It's just called Combat Skill. Another Julian's Adventures. This particular pulp novel, mass-produced as part of the... when the stories of Julian came out, much like our James Bond, pre-Cataclysm, as the United States and Canada continued their accelerated research to try to come up with the juicers themselves. Let's be honest, like having even a 6-year time span, if you know that you enter into the military and you're getting out in 3 years by signing up for this extreme special forces, fuck yeah, you're going to do it. There's romance involved. There's combat espionage action in these books, and they were pretty much propaganda pieces. But now Julian named himself after it because everybody wants a hero. Yakeem picks the book up. Fuck. Alright, okay. He's here. We gotta find him. The hallway leads down to a long room. And they step in, and as Yakeem steps forward, I'm going to give him a notice roll, and Sood right after, peering into the corners, looking all around. It's a D6. Blows up. Nice, with a raise. Yakeem sees his place, and he goes, "This is a fucking operating room, man. Why did they have him down here?" And he stops. And he goes, No. Oh, shit. He runs over to a terminal, flips it open. He goes, They're continuing on the experiments. Why the fuck would Julian even come here? Why? Fuck! And he starts running forward. Another set of double doors at the back end leads into a medical room. And I'm going to roll, let's roll for a random event. 76. PC negative. No, what does that mean? Starting. Bureaucracy? Starting bureaucracy. Starting bureaucracy. What the fuck would that mean? PC negative, so this works against Yakeem. Starting bureaucracy. Oh, no. I have an idea. Okay. Are there CS scientists working on juicers here? Yes. As they burst into the room, a series of surprised white-coated but with black and red armbands. The Coalition States lightning bolt superimposed just behind a red skull. They look a little surprised, like, Who are you? And Yakeem looks and he sees that there's a couple of juicers. It's like, fuck, man, is that John? The fuck did you do to John? Who is John? No, this is my patient. I'm trying to save him. Yakeem raises a gun. The rifle pointed directly at this guy, said, who the fuck did you do to John, and where's Julian? Why isn't he awake? I'm going to give an intimidation check, which is a D4 for Yakeem. So it's 4 on the die, and he, on the wild die, and he, the guy just starts, no. I don't know who he is. They came to us. What? The fuck do you mean they came to you? What are you doing with him? What are you doing with any of them? And where the fuck is Julian? And the Coalition officer just raises his hands. He goes, no. Just don't touch any of my assistants. Come on. We'll talk. It's okay. I'm going to give Sood a quick roll. Notice roll. He rolls a 7. I'm going to give Yakeem a notice roll too. He rolled a 5 and a 1. As they glance up, though, the direction that the scientist keeps looking, he looks over to his assistants. All of them have now backed up, scalpels and everything laid back down on the tables, white-gloved hands as they look around. And then each one of them keeps peering up at a corner. That's when Yakeem looks up and sees it. There's a camera. Fuck. Yeah, of course. Look, we don't know what's happening. And I'm going to ask a fate question. And I'm going to call this likely. Does Yakeem shoot first and ask questions later? Yes, and it's a 44, which means unexpected random event. PC positive. Develop. Come on. Develop. Tension. Yakeem. Just, you know what, man? Fuck you. And he begins to open fire. Let's see here. 4d6 damage. He just starts shooting wildly, and with his d10. He just starts firing into these scientists. And we're going to ask Sood. Does Sood try to stop him? Of course he does, right? So I'm going to give them an agility check in comparison to each other. So this is a heads up. Yakeem's got a D10 and Sood's got a D12. Yakeem's wild die blew up, so it's a 6 to a 7 total. And now Sood's, which is a D12, which I'm going to need one, is a 9. So Sood goes first. He's going to run over. He sees the gun start coming up. The first couple of these scientists drop as Yakeem just goes a little bit faster, a little bit wilder. But Sood comes running forward, and he is going to athletics check. It's a 4 and a 4 versus Yakeem's, which is a 2 and a 2. So Sood knocks him, leaving him distracted. Yakeem just kind of like pulls back and he's like, "The fuck, man? I need you to back off." And Sood looks at him and goes, "No, I will not let you kill any more of these innocents. They may be murderous bastards, yes, but that doesn't mean they need to die. I don't see a single gun. They're not prepared to fight." He goes, "You know what? Fucking done with this." And we are going to have a heads-up fight between these two. So, let's go to an action fight. And begin round. Yakeem starts off with a 9, but of course he is currently distracted. We're just going to give him a -2. Yakeem pulls up, and of course he's got, what did I roll earlier? Just to make sure that I'm reading through everything that happened. He got busted guts, so which actually his agility was a D12. I don't know why it had it twice, but regardless, we're going to just keep moving forward. And he sees us and he's like, "I'm fucking done with this." He moves aside his rifle, pulls out that plasma axe, and he comes charging directly at Sood. He is going to take his multi-actions, D8, to attack. It's a 6 and a 3, but you know what? He's fucking done. I'm going to throw in his burn die too. It came up as a 1, which means his burn goes down to 1, but his burn die is now a D12. But, of course, his burn die becomes its maximum if he rolls a 1, which means he hits with a raise on his fighting roll. And his parry, it doesn't matter. It's a hit with a raise. I mean, fucking D10 is automatic raise there. So he's going to need to spend a Benny and make a vigor check to avoid taking a nasty wound. Well, actually, I got to roll damage first. The damage on this thing is 2d12. There's a d12. And his strength is currently a d8 plus a d6 on the raise. So it's a lot of dice. Alright, so that's 12 plus 12, 24. 6 blows up, 24, 29 total. 29, so that's 13, so that's 4 wounds he's got to soak. So Sood immediately takes his d10, and he's got to soak all 4 wounds, or else Yakeem's going to one-shot him. He's spending another Benny. That was a failure. Oops. No, come back! Well, that die is lost forever. Goodbye, die. I'll pick you up later. That's a 6. That's a 1. He's got to do it. Ah, fuck. He soaks all but 1 wound. Sood goes up to 3 wounds on the first strike, and Yakeem comes back around for his second attack. His fighting die is still a D8. So that's a 5, but no, he's going to throw in that burn die. So that's an 8 total. So, or not 8 total. It's an 8 on the fighting, or on his burn die. So it's now a 23. So that's another hit with a raise, and that's 2d12 plus a d10, or plus a d8 plus a d6. As Yakeem is not making any jokes out of this. That is 16, 20, 26, 29. He knocks Sood down 1 hit, and Sood immediately goes unconscious in the assault. Yakeem looks down at him and goes, "I fucking told you, man." He turns and he ignores Sood. It is now Sood's turn. And we're going to just give him one chance. I mean, it doesn't matter about becoming unshaken right now. He's got to make a vigor check. He's D10. It's a 7 minus 1. It's a 4. Okay, so on a success on his vigor check to become, while he's bleeding out. Let me double verify the rules here. Bleeding out, that's an important one to know. 95, 96 in the Suede rules. And roll on the injury table. The injury goes away when all wounds are healed. So he gets 2d6 and soothe. It's a 5. Takes one to the guts, rolls a d6. And he is busted. Alright. So, let's see the effects. Busted. Alright. Let's make sure. And now. Alright. As Sood himself goes unconscious, there is suddenly the alarm noise coming through. Sood himself is now unconscious, and let's see here. Who steps in? Who else steps in but a junior officer and a handful of grunts? But I'm going to make the officer, he is actually a wild die, or a wild card, because I think that's important. And he is going to have one juicer with him. So let's roll, let's say. And he has 6 grunts with him. 1, 2, 3. The officer steps in, Officer Cafferty. And Cafferty looks at him. You know what? I'm going to ask a really fun fake question here. Does Cafferty know Hakeem? Yes, he does. Which means I think Hakeem knows him too. Hakeem, are you fucking kidding me? I thought we killed you. And Cafferty looks at him up and down and goes, why would you have killed me? No, you guys have all the wrong ideas of what's going on here. Let's be reasonable, huh? You just chopped down your friend. You know what? You're already having a shitty day. Come back. And Hakeem goes, come back? Are you fucking joking with me right now? He goes, there's no goddamn way I'm coming back. He goes, we only tried to help. He goes, you tried to help? You murderous bastards. You turned us into fucking zombies. He goes, no, it's such a mischaracterization of what really happened. Look, I am telling you right now, Julian came to us. He came to us because he was looking for how we cure you. You do not look good, my friend. It has been what? 2 years? I want nothing more than to get Julian out of your fucking grasp so you stop the experimentations. Yes. Again, it's just sad. It's sad on how much you mischaracterize us. But, you know what? I have a suspicion this is only ending one way. Boys, snaps his fingers. Kill him. And we're going to go into full combat. So let's get these guys into the initiative order. let us get the ones who are similar. Make the group leader and then follow. 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 And I like the random name that was given to this guy. His name is Chilfac. So we're going to go through to the next turn, and Cassidy's going to get the 5 of Hearts. Sood gets the Joker. Nice. Okay. But of course, until his wounds are healed, and he doesn't get any natural healing here, I don't... Unless, of course, there's some way to heal him. But we're going to keep in the initiative order. But we go to Yakeem. Yakeem looks at this. These troopers are already crowding in front of the officer. And Yakeem just goes, no. No. And he starts running forward with the plasma axe. I think... Yeah, the first thing he's going to do, he's going to raise the plasma axe. He's going to fire it once, and then he's going to run forward trying to get to that juicer. So he's going to make a shooting roll as his first action, which is a D10. Come on. It's a 6. The 6 blows up. So that's a 9. That's a hit with a raise. And the plasma bolt is 3d12 plus 3. That shit. Let's see, that's 11 points total. 11 plus 3, I mean, that's... Why am I having a hard time? 11 plus 3 is 14. The toughness of these things is 20, so he fires. It impacts into the armor. Doesn't even seem to phase the juicer as it starts running towards him too. And now Yakeem is going to take a fighting roll. So it's D8 plus a D6. The 8 blows up. So that's a 13 on his fighting roll. That'll definitely hit him with a parry of 8. That's a hit with a raise. So Yakeem, you could take him down in one shot here, buddy. But you got to get some really goddamn good rolls. All right. Okay, so that's 10, 18, 23, 23, 27. And this guy has a toughness of 20, so he's shaken and takes one wound as Yakeem, right off the bat, recognizing and remembering the fight that he had the first time, sees those blades come out of this thing's glove, and he just swings right for the arm. The plasma blade just burns through the porcelain armor. It shatters on impact, and Yakeem just shouting and screaming as he does it. The blood splays in all directions. Yakeem now drenched, the juicer himself sloughing in front of him. We go over to the coalition troopers. A couple of them are already in melee range as he got too close. But the rest of them with the heavy laser, they've got a rate of fire of 3. They're not going to forget, like I have been before. So I'm going to do effectively a burst fire from all of them. They do not have rock and roll, which means this is a -2. And I'm also going to throw on a wild die to count as the entire group's roll. So it's 4d6, and they take the top 3. -2 on all of these. So that's 2 misses right there. -2, that's the third miss, but the 6 blows up. One of the shots hits. Not even a raise, though. And as Yakeem starts running forward, the first one, 9, 10, 14. Yakeem's toughness right now is 18. He takes a shot to the chest, tries to bend around slightly to let it deflect off the armor, but it's not enough. And as these 2 other troopers who are stuck in melee with him, they draw viral blades. They get a gang up bonus. Oh, but they both rolled 1s. Not even close to being enough. That guy is dead. And we go down to Cafferty. Cafferty is going to take his battle roll, and he's going to try to give everyone a +1 to their next shooting roll. So he gets a D8 plus a D6, and this will support the entire group that's within melee. That is a 7, so they all get a +1 on their next round. I do not care about this one. Gun him down. And we come back around. Cafferty's going to take the King of Diamonds. I don't know, those guys. What the fuck happened there? That was weird. Regardless. We go to the troopers, who all said, you know, take their -2s, rate of fire of 3. Even with the +1s, yes, one of them hits again. And as they begin to fire towards Yakim, this blur of a human being coming running towards them. So that is 6, 12, 12. Oh, wait a minute. I totally forget the fact that he gets his -4 to even hit them, so it's a -5 to hit, so none of those actually impact. Yakim just begins to dodge between the laser blasts. Cafferty sees this. He goes, no, shoot him! He's going to try that same thing again, but he's going to take a multi-action penalty as he also pulls a laser beam, laser pistol. That's the 6 blows up to a 10, so they all get their +1, and he is going to shooting of a D8, -6 total to hit, so that makes a 0 to hit him. Multi-action penalty plus him just being a fast-ass juicer. But Yakim, still running, leaps into combat with these two. He's going to take his multi-action penalty, but no penalty, of course. He's going to take 2 fighting attacks. That's Snake Eyes. Oh, that sucks. Okay, first attack. Swings and a miss. And he now has another -1 on this plasma axe. The second attack. Let's see. So it's a 0. I'm going to throw in the burn die. It becomes a 4. And their parry's a 5. Yeah, he starts swinging. These things are almost... it's a little too heavy. It's a little off-kilter. And the weight of it seems a little unawkward in his hands as he's realizing it's starting to glitch out even more. The double-bladed axe itself becoming a little bit of a hindrance. We come around to the top of the round again. I'm going to give Sood here his daily roll for vigor, which is a D10. He's got 4 wounds, so it's still a -3. It's a not likely chance. No, he stays unconscious. And Cafferty, he's going to try to support his troops again. Oh, the D8 and the D6 blow up. He gives them all a +2 to their next roll. Cafferty begins pointing. He's like, you must, when you shoot at them, lead, aim for the legs. They tend to forget about those. That's why they're less heavily armored. The troopers start taking aim and trying to fire at him again. So this is now just a -4 to hit. And not a one of those. Yeah, the highest that they get on one of them is a 5. So the laser shots just start going through the air. It's weird that that's not actually following them, but it doesn't matter. We go over to Yakim. His fighting roll, -2. Just be sure, right? D8. Oh, that's why I picked up the D10 and the D8. I knew it didn't feel right in my hands. Alright. So that's a 7 to hit. I'm throwing in the burn. So it's a 9 total, so that is definitely at least a hit. Not with the raise, but he goes after one of these guys. And it's 16, 18, and the D12 blows up. 20 total. Chops the first one down. It's not even a moment. He doesn't even get a chance to scream before Yakim comes at him. The axe raises a little bit higher as he tries to get the return swing on the other guy. It's a 5 and a 1. Burn die. 15 instead. And that burn dice is sexy when it's actually working. But of course, it doesn't matter now. Yakeem knows this. You can feel that. Let's see. 9, 13, 20, 21. Yakeem chops another one of these guys down. And doesn't even hesitate before he starts running forward again. Trying to get up to Cafferty. Cafferty turns and tries to spin and get out. Kind of coward that he is. Yakeem gets the 10 of hearts. But Cafferty gets the queen. But of course, Cafferty gets a Benny as the troopers draw the Joker. So they are going to get a +2, so then it's a -2 on their shots. They're going to fire 3. They just start screaming, "Fall back, fall back!" Alright, so let's see, 11, 12. Oh, wait, it's not a count. So it's a -2. So one of them does manage to hit because the 6 blows up. 7 total. What did I say? Minus 2. So it's a 5, so it's a hit. Yakeem gets hit. Not with a raise, but they've got to beat an 18 on 4d6, which is a high possibility. Alright, so 11. 11 plus 5 is 16. 17, 18, 19. Yakeem is shaken as one of these beams cuts through. As he turns, one of them actually does aim for his thigh. He feels that scorch and burn across the muscles. He tries running forward, but he realizes, of course, that he's got to stop for a second. He moves, tries to get the beam to stop burning through his leg. He sees Cafferty trying to get away. So I'm fucking not letting you go. Cafferty runs. He screams back orders as he runs past the troopers, trying to give them another battle support roll. As he turns. So they get a +1 as he rolled a 5. But then he keeps going. Sood remains where he is. Yakeem unshakes. And seeing this, he raises the double-bladed axe again. He's going to take 2 shots at the fleeing Cafferty. Given the fact that there are troopers in the way, I'm going to say this is partial cover, so it's a -2 to hit. Plus with the glitches going on, it's a -4 total. So with this D10, okay, -4 total on a 5, that puts it down to a 1. Let's throw that burn die in, and a 12. So the first one's a hit with a raise. He shoots at a fleeing enemy. It's 3d12 on this damage roll, plus a d6 for the raise. 12, 18, 23. Against a toughness of 15. So that is what is that, an 8-point difference? So it's 2 wounds. Cafferty spends one of his bennies, and he's going to try to soak it with a d6 in vigor. He soaks 1 wound and is shaken. But of course, the second shot is coming in. Yakeem, knowing that he's got to take 2 shots, get this guy down as quick as he can before he tries to run off. 1 and a 4. So, burn die. It's an 11. Whew, damn, that thing's coming in handy. See what happens when you stop caring about living? Another 3d12 plus a d6. Okay, 7, 8, 14 with the exploding die. Oh shit, 14 plus another one, that's 20. 23. 23, toughness of 15, that's another 8 points, that's another 2 wounds coming in. And he's going to burn another Benny, trying to soak that damage. He soaks 1 point. He's going to try to... Okay, that blows up. Okay, he soaks both wounds coming in, loses his shaken status, but Cafferty runs off with 1 wound, a heavy scorch burn in the back, and Yakeem just fucking shit. Cafferty goes first again. He starts running, but of course now everything's at a -1. He turns back to shoot, trying to catch Akeem as best as he can. So it's 2d6, -1. It's 2, doesn't even come close. But Cafferty starts limping a little bit. His pace is now a 5 instead of a 6. More than enough that Akeem, if he can get clear of these troopers, can get up to him. The troopers go, they come up as a mass trying to hold him back. So I'm going to give them fighting die. Ooh. 6 blows up, so it's an 11 -2 from his dot or from his juicer, which makes it a 9 to hit, and his parry is a 6, so it's a hit. But as they pull out, they all draw these vibro daggers, and they advance, trying to block the path, hoping to hold him back just long enough. They have a strength of D6, a D6 on the dagger. And it's not even close. It's 6 points total for his damage. Akeem just seems to dodge around it, letting the blades cut into the armor. And he doesn't even think about it as he runs past. And will let them have an attack of opportunity as he tries to ignore them. It's a 5. That's not enough. Akeem keeps running. Let's see. With his pace right now is a 14. He almost catches up to him. He's definitely within close range, very close range. And if he dashed, he'd take a -2. Yeah, I think he doesn't care. Nice. Rolls a full 8. Akeem, with the sprinting capabilities of a just fully powered Olympic athlete, comes running forward. The axe comes up in his hand, high. And he just begins to scream, just... And he's going to take his first 2 attacks. Let's see. So -2, that's a 4, because he's taking the running, right? So it's a -2. Burn die of a 6, so it's a 10 total. And I'm pretty sure that Cafferty's parry is not that high. Yeah. So it's a hit with a raise. So 2d12 plus his strength of a d8. Plus a d6 for the raise damage. Let's see, 12, 17, 18 damage on that roll. Toughness, he is shaken. And as Akeem takes his second swing. Let's get those dice back out. And let's get that burn die going. There we go, it's a hit, not with a raise, so it's only 2d12 plus the d8. That's 14 versus 15 toughness. Oof. You know what? Akeem don't care. He's spending that Benny to reroll damage. So, come on, something higher. That'll do. 16, 21, and the 8 blows up. 21, that's 28 total damage. Toughness of 15, that is 3 wounds coming in. Last Benny from Cafferty. As Akeem just starts burning through. The blade comes high. Oof. Now, Cafferty's taking all... No, he takes 3 wounds. He's at 3 wounds. 1 more puts him down. Cafferty just begins to limp. The blood begins swelling out. He had hit a major artery. And Akeem stalks forward. Sood is still unconscious. Akeem draws the 8. Cafferty only gets the 5. The troopers come running up first, though. They start taking their shots at the back of Akeem. Rate of fire 3 plus a d6. -4 to hit him. Not a one of them hits. But Akeem is focused. He steps forward. He sees the sniveling, groveling officer in front of him. He remembers the torture at the hands of so many coalition troopers. He remembers Cafferty, one of the smiling, arrogant little faces that kept coming through, talking about, "Today's a great day, my friends. I'll tell you why. You will be able to fight for the coalition states. Fight for humanity." And as Akeem comes forward, he goes, "Hey, Remember all those times you told me I was going to fight for humanity, and you said that it was going to be on your side? And Cafferty, just cowering, goes, just don't kill me, man. You can walk out of here still. You can just take your friend, take your leader, whatever. That's fine. Just get out. Leave us alone. And Yakeem just picks up the axe one more time. He goes, yeah, but here's the great thing, man. I'm fighting for my humanity right now. He's going to... and I'm going to throw the burn die in. So let's hit with a raise. It's 13 total. 2d6, d8, or 2d12, d8, and d6. Oof. Okay, I'm not even going to bother rolling for the rest of the damage, as he lops right into the middle of Cafferty's chest. The vibroblade the plasma axe just begins to scorch and burn. The man begins to yell. Then Yakeem just tilts it forward. The axe is currently sitting in this man's center chest bone. His rib cage almost to the point of popping open. He can smell the burning and sizzling flesh. And Yakeem tilts it forward where Cafferty can see the barrel. And he goes, yeah, fuck you, man. I never wanted to be here in the first place. As he pulls the trigger, the plasma blade, or the plasma bolt that comes out, burns through Cafferty's face. And all that remains is just this cauterized stump of a head. Yakeem turns, and we call that just one attack action because I like the flavor. Turns, and he is going to take a shot at some of these troopers behind him, using the plasma axe. It's a d10. It's a 6 to hit, but just throw that in. 8 total with a raise, so 3d12 plus a d6. As Yakeem just starts going ham on these guys. 19, 20. Oh, I mean, this guy takes 3 wounds. As the first shot just kind of burns through him. The rest of the troopers see this, and I'm going to give them, so it's their turn. Let's get to Cafferty. Cafferty's dead. Rolled snake eyes on his bleed out. He's just gone. I'm going to give these guys a spirit check. They fail and begin to fall back. And Yakeem for a second stops. His blood is just pumping. Just boom, 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 boom. And he stops what he's doing and he looks around. He's like, fuck, I gotta get Julian. And he just begins to panic. He can feel his heart rate. It's accelerating now. Down to his last burn. The biocomp at his side just bloop, bloop, bloop. He's like, I fucking know. Yakeem starts running through. He gets to a back room. He sees, sitting almost comfortably, but restrained in a chair, there's the lolling head of a very large Julian. Yakeem sees him. Hey, Captain, General, what the fuck you want me to call you? Julian! The face is kind of, son, fuck are you doing here? Julian, what the fuck are you doing here, man? Why are you here? I gotta get you help. Yakeem, I'm gonna give him a strength roll, a -2, as he tries to just break open these shackles with his bare hands. D6 blows up, but I'm gonna throw in the burn die because there it is. All right. With just the intensity of someone who just knows that it's coming to the end, Yakeem reaches down and he feels the metal begin to twist and he just begins to shout, just Julian, wake up! And suddenly the shackles come off in his hand. It cuts into the flesh of Julian, and he sees just the trickle of blood before suddenly the bell comes, and the blood begins to cauterize, clot almost immediately. Yakeem looks at him. He's like, "You're a fucking big bastard," and he drops the axe where it is. leans over and tries to fireman carry him out. I'm going to give him another strength roll. That's not going to be enough. 7 total. Oh, I mean, on top of 7, so that's with the raise now. That burn die is going to be it. It fucked me so early in this game, and yet here we are. And Yakeem reaches forward, grabs him underneath the knee, slings this just almost half a ton of human being. Not even half a ton, really, but 300 pounds of nearly 7 foot tall slab of muscle. And what? Son, why are you here? Are you... Fuck. I'm going to give him Julian a spirit roll. Oh, well, that goes up. And he begins to slowly shake out of the sulfuric that's going through his veins. Yakeem sees it. Whoops. Does he? I'm going to give him his healing roll to see if he sees it. 4 blows up. 8. Now we start getting these great cool rolls. He goes, Julian, what the fuck is strapped to your biocomp, man? Hey kid. Yeah, no son, they found us. We were coming through, and I didn't know that the space was still operational. Our scouts, somebody got to them first. He goes, let me guess. Did you have them talk to some kid named Jean-Francois? He goes, yeah. No, the guy said that he had some information about the coalition, and specifically, man, he was telling me about you. He said you two used to run together. Yeah. Yeah, we did. And we're gonna roll random event. 51, move towards a thread. Separate. The intellectual. Let's roll to see which thread. Fixed vehicle. Okay, yeah, no, that one doesn't... Okay, Julian is a new town. We already know that. I'm just gonna, given the fact that this may be the end of Yakeem, his heart begins pumping a little bit, and he goes, Julian, man, I don't have much time. My biocomp's giving out. I'm already having issues. I'm at the end. Fucking tell me what is going on. Julian goes, kid, I came here because that guy said he knew how to save you. You listen to Jean-Francois. Jean-Francois said that he had a way to save me. He goes, yeah, he told me you were starting to have issues, and so, son, I figured that they had the technology, even if it was like perverted by those bug people. I figured a group of us could come down here and maybe give you another shot. Drag this out, keep you alive for a couple years longer, man. Son, you're part of us. You're part of the JAL. We can't lose you. And Yakeem just looks at him. Yeah. Yeah, I guess you can, actually. I'm getting you out of here. I'm getting all of you out of here. Are you ready to fight? We're gonna have to go through a lot of coalition troops. Julian just goes, no. Or they've got us doped up. Biocomp is in high mode, like overcranked. I'm barely pushing it back. Alright, man. I got you. But we are gonna have to fucking fight. So I'm gonna give you Yakeem. Well, I already rolled his medical check. He looks at it and he goes, alright, man, I'm gonna pull this thing out. It's probably gonna hurt like hell. Oh. Julian looks at him. He goes, I still feel it, man. Hey, son, look. Well, you can wake up all the others, but man, we're barely gonna be able to fight. He goes, yeah. Yeah, I know. But I have an idea. I'm gonna get you guys fucking guns from all the troopers that we already killed. Ones that still work. I want you guys to push. You're gonna fight like we were getting into Newtown the first time. I'm gonna hold them off. I'm gonna get their attention. I'm gonna fuck some things up. There's a skinny little elf fuck that's in the other room. Can you get him out of here? Alright. You making friends? Yeah. Julian, you always told me I had to make some friends, man. You told me a man can't go alone, right? Well, I made some friends. Some of them are bastards. All of them thought me a bastard. I don't want to end it that way. Don't think of me as a bastard, alright? If you need to put that on a tombstone, Yakeem at least was not a bastard. Son, what's going on? Julian, I'm at the end. This is it. I don't got any days left. I barely got hours. Probably counting in minutes. Okay. Enough sopping. Julian just begins to laugh. Kid, the fuck? Come on, we can get you out of here. We can get you on detox. And goes, no. Look at me. Fucking look at me, Julian. I'm sweating. It ain't that hot down here. I can barely see. Everything's in a tunnel. It's like I'm looking through binoculars, but everything's at the right scope. But I can count the hairs on your chin. I could tell you haven't shaven in about 4 days. I can see your heart rate. And I know I'm at the end. It's time. And Julian raises a big meaty palm. It takes him a couple times as his hands just seem to be moving slower. And he goes, ah, son. Give him hell. Yakeem goes, ha, Julian? I was fucking due, man. The alarm begins to sound. Well, I think that's the time to go. Julian starts running forward. Yakeem comes in behind him. And some of the troopers that are there, the juices that are on the experimentation boards, they begin popping off these little green biocomp monitors. Each one of them begins to power down as they take him out. It takes a while, a couple slaps as the juices begin to wake up. Troopers begin to try to come through the door. I'm going to give Yakeem his battle roll. This is a smarts die, so he doesn't get to throw in the juice. 4 blows up, though. To a 5, so it's at least a success. So I'm going to give him, I'll say that he has enough time to get one really good shooting roll off, and I'm going to say that he picked up, he dropped the double-bladed axe, because that thing just kind of was slowing him down. He picks up one of the C-12s, the heavy laser rifles. Given the fact that they could do rate of fire, drops a C-14 as well, because he's out of grenades. He goes, alright kids, it's fucking go time. And he is going to rate of fire as we go to another action scene. Multiple D10s. It's a shame one of them rolled all the way to the other side of the goddamn room, but you know what? I have plenty. Alright. So that's 3 hits. Just throw that on there. Another D10. So I'm going to put that onto the lowest one. So these are all hits with raises. So these are all 5d6. I'm going to take the total calculated damage per attack roll, and that's how it's going to be distributed across about 20 coalition troopers. Alright, so that's a really shitty roll. 4, 7, 10 total. 2, 10, 15, so we're at 25 damage. Well, at least there's a 6 in that one now. 9, 14, 20, 25, so 50 points of damage total. That would be enough to start taking down. he takes out right away 4 of these troopers, just taking these shots directly into the mass of the crowds. A couple of them begin to drop, holding the doors open, allowing Yakim to see down that there are more troops beginning to line up. He starts shouting over. He goes, "Julian, you ain't got much time, man. Fucking go up the back way or something. I don't know, but you ain't coming through here. No one's coming through here." I'm going to give Julian... So here's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this a challenge. I'm going to say it's 3 rounds. Yakim's got to get 8 successes. Well, Yakim and Julian have to get 8 successes. Let's get a token for Julian, just so I can throw him into the initiative order. All right, Julian the First draws 2, 10 of diamonds. And Yakim draws to the ace, so Yakim gets to go first. He is going to, on round 1. Why is it still all highlighted? All right, round 1. Yakim, seeing the mass that's coming down. Do I want to give him battle? No, I'm going to give him a shooting roll. D10 to try to hold these troopers off. Let's see. Yeah. D10. I've got that burn die just waiting. It's a 2 and a 1, so... Oh, shit. Yakim just rolled his last burn. However, for this roll, it's going to count as a 12, so it's going to be 3 raises, but I'm going to say Yakim does not get to use his burn die anymore. The bio comp just... Yakim blinks, and then suddenly there is a burst of white light in his eyes. He sees it all. Clearly, everything moves in slow motion. He begins to pull the trigger. He doesn't even see... He actually almost feels like he can see the laser as it erupts. It flashes slowly, like watching a match go in 1,000 frames per second as it begins to burn through the ceramics of the Coalition armor. He sees the flesh underneath begin to peel back, bubble and blister as the laser beams itself just begins to burn straight through flesh. And he just looks backwards and he can feel the finger pull the trigger. We go over to Julian. Julian is currently, we're going to say he is distracted. Oh no, we're going to say he's vulnerable. That doesn't make much sense for this. He's distracted. What does he have? Athletics. He's going to roll to start. He's going to roll a persuasion as he tries to wake up all the other juicers. He just goes, "All right, boys, this is it. We got to get out of here." The 4 blows up. The 4 blows up again. Okay, so that's a 10. So that is 2 successes. And Julian, as he's looking around, starts patting down some of the kids, and he's like, "Come on. This ain't the time to be rusting, son. Come on." I said, "Let's go. Pick up our daughter over there. We gotta go. Also, get the little scrawny fuck over there," as he points over to Green Brother Sood. We go to the next round of this. Yakim gets the queen. He continues firing. I'm going to say it's now a -2 as they're trying to fall back a little bit. Yakim sees on how desperate this is becoming. That is a 7. He gets no extra dies. So, and he is out of bennies. So that is 1 success. With the -2, he recognizes, of course, that they are starting to take defensive positions. He goes, "Fuck, man. Julian, get going." Julian, let's see. I just had the character sheet open. Why the fuck would I close it? He's going to take for this one, he's going to take his athletics. as he starts picking up some of the damaged kids, especially as he comes over to Green Brothers 2 and he's like, I don't know who you are, man, but if Hakeem likes you, and I like you too, and you got a place in the JAL, but I'm going to throw on his burn die on this. Julian's got a D6 for a burn right now. 5. That's a 10 total with a success. Brings him up to the right amount. But we still get to the last round just in case there's any failures. Hakeem gets the 10. Julian goes first. Julian kind of looks at it and he looks back and he goes, "Hey kid, man, you know I love you, right?" And Julian turns around and goes, "Why the fuck could you tell me that now?" He goes, "Such an asshole. Give him hell, kid." He's going to try to give him a persuasion roll to boost him, to give him a +1. It's a 2 and a 2, but Julian's a wild card with no bennies. Did I not give him any bennies? I think for this, I'm going to spend a GM benny on him and let him re-roll this. That's much better. Alright, 5. So, Hakeem gets a +1. It doesn't count as a success on this thing, but it also doesn't count as a failure. Hakeem sees this. Sees that they're falling back. Reaches down, picks up one of the fibro knives, and just runs into the large gathering. He goes, "Alright, you sad fucks." And he just begins to try to stab at them. And 7 + 1, that's an 8. That's 2 successes. So, as Hakeem comes out swinging, he walks into this large group. There's just hundreds of them. And he sees this. He goes, "No, I'm done with this." Starts stabbing into the first one. The lasers begin going off. Hakeem. God, I don't even know what to roll here. Man, I'm so nervous. Lie weapon. Hakeem comes running out. I already like this. And he goes, "Stand back, you bad fucks." I have on me right now a dead man switch plasma grenade. You shoot me, I take us all out. You want to try me? And they, I'm gonna give him. Let's. He doesn't have deception. He's got intimidation though. D4, D6. A 6 blows up to a 10 with a raise. I'm gonna give them a D6 on their spirit. And it's a 2. They suddenly start falling back a little bit. The gun's still raised, and I'm gonna give Julian a notice check. D6. 5 and a 1. Julian hears this and just begins to laugh. He goes, "God, that kid's got balls. I'm gonna miss him." As they haul everyone out, knowing that Hakeem's got their attention for a little bit. And Hakeem, as he starts walking into the middle of the group, he's walking with this kind of like arrogant saunter. He's like, that's right, boo! Yeah, that's what I thought. You guys have no idea what the fuck I've been through, do you? I've been through hell. I've seen what the end looks like, guys. I've seen it comes at the end of a tentacled staff. I've been tortured. I've been shot. I've been maimed. Been betrayed in more ways than I can count. And you are the absolute worst of us. There is a noise at the end. Sudden boop, boop, boop. He goes, yeah. And I think it's fair for you guys to know I ain't got shit. And he reaches, tries to stab one of the others, when suddenly the laser rifles just begin to go off. Pew, 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 pew. And I'm just gonna, oh man, I don't even know what to talk. Destroy. Free. Yakeem, standing in this hallway, reaching out with a vibro knife, stabbing whatever he can. Pulling this blade free, he feels the burns begin to cut through. First one beam, then another. He turns, grabs another skull, these masks with the glowing red eyes, and he just shatters it with his forehead. He feels teeth break underneath as another shot goes through. He stops what he's doing, turns, throws the knife, catches somebody in the throat. As the last shot catches him, he feels it. It starts going through. He knows that it doesn't matter. He feels it all. He feels the beginning of trying to find that fucking doll. He remembers the chase, trying to catch Jean-Francois. He remembers walking through a just broken down shit yard and getting betrayed by the only mechanic out here that could fix his car. He remembers finding out why he was out there. It's just make cash for the JAL. Julian sending him out here on a wild goose chase. It turned out not to be a wild goose chase. The vampires. Keith, Tawny, whatever her name was. One of the first people who could keep up with him in a while. Running with her was probably the closest thing he felt to being part of the JAL again. He remembers thinking about it. Thinking about it when they set up and stalked, looking for the black marketeers who had stolen those kids. The excitement the Finoti rancher had as he returned them. Remembering what happened to his sister. Feeling how much he wanted to see her again. Taking down a UAR-1 after sneaking his way through an entire battalion of coalition troops and fighting his way through just to make sure that he and the other juicers had a legitimate shot. He remembers the drive across the countryside trying to get back after hearing the news that Julian himself disappeared, not realizing that Julian was down here the entire time, apparently looking for a cure for him. The Splugorth. Oh, Julian, if only you could understand how dangerous they are. You would form up and help, but you've got your personal crusade. Yakeem shed the tear for those who had lost. He shed the tear for Tawny. He sheds a tear for Anra and her sisters. More importantly, Yakeem sheds a tear for his sister. And then himself. He coughs. There's a spray of just dark crimson blood. The troopers start coming over to him. One of them picks him, grabs him by the back of the head, and goes, "Why did you do this?" And I'm going to try one last thing for Yakeem. One thing to honor with a thievery roll. D4, D6. He gets a +2 to this. Oh, he rolled a 2. With this +2, it's a 4. Yakeem just starts to laugh a little bit. Yakeem. And just barely, just by 1 point, Yakeem pushes himself up on his hands, looks up into this coalition trooper. One of his hands tries to steady himself, grabs onto this guy's thigh. He can feel the metallics and ceramics underneath in his palm. He's very well aware of what these things are made out of. And what he's also aware of is the additional compartmental pouch directly on their right thigh, where they have usually stored fragmentation grenades. Yakeem's finger slips, it loops through the trigger. And Yakeem looks up at him and goes, "Oh man, you really want to know why I did this?" Trooper leans forward a little bit closer. Yakeem holds his fist up. He goes, "I did it for a teddy bear." As there is a rip of an explosion, the fragmentation grenade goes off. It leaves a fireball, just it sweeps outwards. The troopers themselves barely caught in the blast in time as the shrapnel starts cutting through them. Well, it's not enough. The coalition troopers that are there just begin to cough the acrid smoke and the smell of burnt flesh. And Yakeem, nothing is left. As Yakeem is remembered in the days. Sorry, I just need a moment there. Yakeem is remembered. See if there's good music. That's terrible music. That's terrible music too. Julian, let's ask a fake question just to start wrapping things up. Does Julian get back to Dodge City? Exceptional, yes. As they come out 2 days later, there is a sudden caravan that comes through as a heavily damaged, partially stripped out APC, Armored Personnel Carrier, rolls into Dodge City. A lot of the juicers who are still posted up come running out, weapons drawn, a couple with grenade launchers ready to go. And they seem a little surprised. Fuck is there? Hey, who's there? But as the first couple starts stepping out, Green Brother Sood leaning pretty heavily, badly damaged. There is just this moment where it was, hi, I don't think you guys know me, but Julian sent me up ahead. He goes, "Fuck you mean, Julian? Where's Julian?" He's driving the place, man. Come on. And out steps Julian, badly busted. He looks down. It's like, "We've got injured in the back. Start getting them out now. You, kid, come over here. I need you to get down to Newtown. We need to get a couple of folks out there. Make sure the coalition states pack up. Son, come on." And he reaches over to Sood. He goes, "You fought with him. What was going on with Yakeem?" And Sood looks at him and he was like, I don't think I can ever tell you. I don't know. I was cutting through, trying to look for the Valix. I was hunting on my own particular path. When he stumbled across, I wasn't expecting anyone down there. And yet he never stopped fighting. Yeah, that was our boy, all right, but he left you for dead, but he didn't kill you. Why? What happened? Well, I think in the end there, I think he was obsessed with finding you. That's funny. You see, kid, I was there to try to find a solution for him. Yeah, I think I understand why he would fight for you then. Oh, kid, fuck me. No. Well, that makes him one of the best of us. We're going to make sure his name goes up on the plaque. is a memorial? He goes, yeah, in a way. You see, we can't always get back to the bodies. We don't tend to live that long, so right now we have a small memorial for those of us who have fallen in the names of the JAL. They get a drink named after them, and then we carve their name into this helmet that we got. Coalition officer, skull's still in it. All of us go to Valhalla. Some of us get to still fight. Thing is, man, I don't think Yakeem wanted to fight. I don't think he wanted to fight from the beginning. Yeah. But you see, that kid wanted to fight all the way to the end. And again, that's what makes him the best of us. He deserved a better fight. Thank you for joining me on this pretty crazy storyline. This was an experiment, and it's something that I had wanted to do for a while, but I was afraid of challenging myself. I don't think that it's unnecessary or unexpected that some of us in this industry, or not in the industry, like I'm some fucking big shot. I'm just some kid playing with a microphone. But I wanted to do a story that had, one, a clear ending, but didn't have a dedicated ending. I didn't want to know the ending any more than I think anybody who listens along would want one. And Riffs has been my role-playing game of choice since I was like 14. But it's hard to find a group. One, because Palladium games, those of us who remember from the time still remember how difficult the game itself was. But the other side of it is, of course, everybody wants to play one particular game, and that's fine. That is absolutely their right. And the role-playing game kind of community, we need to have at least one place where everybody goes to. But I didn't want to tell that story. That story's been told. And I know the setting pretty well. Savage Worlds is a action, pulpy at times, setting. And I thought most critically out of all of it, it could tell the story of somebody who was not going to be around forever. Now, I knew this going in, and yet right now I feel a massive loss. It is hard. And I hope if it's hard for anyone else, then I told a good story. I fully intend to do a season 2. I have a character already designed. There's some things that I want to tweak, some things I don't want to get right. I still intend on producing a second podcast episode for this upcoming week. I may just talk about some of the creative process for getting the next one up and running and how I use the GME. May pour one out for poor Yakeem because that's still going to hurt. But regardless, I specifically want to say thank you for those of you who have been following since not necessarily the beginning, but at least the near beginning. There's a lot of people who supported me, a lot of people who told me that this is exactly what I should be doing because not only is it a challenge, but on occasion I can tell a pretty compelling story. And doing the difficult part of putting it all together, challenging myself to have a voice when, as an introvert, I don't want to have a voice some days, but just as importantly also pushing myself to keep doing it, even when I didn't want to. So for those of you who have encouraged me, I want to say thank you very much and very deeply. And for those of you who just listen and listen casually, I also want to say thank you because whether you know it or not, you helped encourage me too. And so from that, we say good night and good night to Yakeem.